Hello and welcome to UC Today. My name is Kieran Devlin and today's session is the UC Partner Trends for Unimax, differentiating with UC management. I'm delighted to be joined by Phil Moen, President and CEO at Unimax. Phil, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Before we explore exactly how partners can differentiate with UC management, please tell us a little bit about yourself, Phil, and your journey with Unimax.
Sure. I'm president and CEO, as you mentioned, and Unimax, a company that's been around quite a long time inside the UC space, a little over 30 years, provides administrative tools primarily, a number of different applications that help companies, especially very large organizations, whether they're governments, educational institutions, enterprise companies, to better manage and administrate these very large UCaaS applications as well as on-prem types of UC providers as well.
And perfect. And moving on to the topic at hand, to set the scene, what challenges do organizations face if they're running more than one UCaaS platform?
Sure. Well, management is really complex in those sorts of environments where there's multi-vendors, especially in the UCaaS space. And the primary four reasons that I would say are, first, you need to know multiple administrative applications. So each of these providers will have their own administrative techniques and they can be different. So learning a number of them can be very difficult. Then there's a total lack of visibility across all of the platforms. So if you've got 2, 3, 4 platforms, and a lot of our customers do, trying to see across them is difficult. Another thing that's difficult is maintaining uniform security policies. For compliance reasons, you want to make sure that settings and policies are set accordingly and appropriately and consistently across all users when you're managing the platforms. And then finally, it's just an overall higher operational cost. I mean, obviously you need multiple resources, more time for administration when you have multiple systems, and so it ends up being more expensive.
And I imagine that there'll be some overlap with your previous answer here, but I'm really fascinated about when you interact with these organizations, how would you say they typically manage their UC estates? What problems can these processes inevitably cause?
Yeah, there will be a little overlap in this answer. You're absolutely right. So sadly, without a broader administrative application, they'll use those multiple vendor tools, like I said, but they would also use spreadsheets and, quite frankly, manual processes. And those lead to inefficiencies in administration, a greater risk of error, difficulty enforcing those policies in the security area that I mentioned, but also, and this one's important, delayed response times. It will just take longer to make the changes that you want to have across the entire set of platforms. And again, all of these lead to higher costs.
And I guess if we address the challenges and the problems with all these, with running several UCaaS platforms, all the nuances of managing estates, we get to talk about the exciting stuff now, the solutions to addressing these challenges. Can you elaborate on some of the specific features or functionalities of Unimax's UC management that directly addresses these types of pain points?
Sure. While Unimax's UC management solutions are wide sweeping, I can kind of specify, based on your question, that some of the very important things, there's like 5. One of them is, first of all, the obvious single pane of glass for managing all of those systems. To be able to go into one tool and find the user, whether they're on Teams or Zoom or Cisco UCM or Avaya CM, in order to quickly find those users and make the system setting changes that you want to do, you first need to go into all of those applications. So with one platform, you have a single pane of glass, like I mentioned. The other item is automated provisioning and deprovisioning. When you have a tool that sees across platforms, it's very easy to automatically provision. And what that means is, say you enter someone into Entra ID, better known as AD. When you enter someone in there, we can detect that, and upon detection, we can provision across multiple platforms simultaneously, basically being, lights out provisioning so that it just all happens automatically. obviously, if you're using different admin systems, you're going to have to do that manually, and it takes a tremendous amount of time. Again, I'd mention also as an answer to this question, consistent policy enforcement. So I mentioned that earlier, and having a surety that you have set the policies correctly no matter which platform you're on. Then the detailed visibility and notification settings as well. So with this visibility, as I mentioned, you can look up one user despite what they're on, but you can also see how many people are having various settings or configurations and be able to be notified when those things are not working or changing. Finally, I'd say also this gives the multi-platform situation the ability to easily integrate with other systems such as ticketing systems and HR systems. If the company is deploying an ITSM, it's very easy to say, let's do things in the ITSM that then trigger automated processes within the multi-vendor platform such as ours.
Perfect. And I'm really keen to move on to Unimax's channel strategy and the types and depths of collaborations with partners that you have. Can you talk us through your channel strategy and the types of partners that really benefit from working with you guys?
Sure. First, let me mention that we really cherish our channel strategy and all of the channel partners that we utilize today. We've always said we want to build a strong, mutually beneficial partnership with our partners across the UC ecosystem, but we make sure that the partners always lead with the customer. Now, sometimes partners don't necessarily want that, but we want to make sure that we are very honest, upfront, and never do anything that the partners don't want us to do if we're in the middle of their processes with their customers. Now, in terms of what kinds of partners we utilize, like I said, across the UC ecosystem, it's pretty broad. So first, the obvious UC channel partners, those people that are already in the channel doing very system work or selling the very, user seats, devices that are necessary to keep communications running. So they can offer our solution to their customers, and that provides those customers ease of use, better efficiency, and all the other functions that I mentioned earlier. Then, of course, there's the value-added resellers. Now, those are the folks who bundle our solution with theirs. The third are system integrators. Those are the folks that work on the complex multiple UC platform deployments. I can think of several customers of now ours as well who came through the system integrator door because of this complex multi-vendor problem. And then finally, managed service providers. And those are the folks who offer, they manage UC voice and services, and they can offer us to their clients or they can use us with their clients to make the management of those UC systems simpler.
And I'm really curious. As you outlined, Unimax has been one of the elder statesmen in the UC space for such a long time. I'm curious, but how do you expect the channel strategy from Unimax will develop over the course of this year? Obviously, we live at a very hectic time where we're having, it feels like every 5 minutes there's a new innovation, a new development in the age of AI, of Internet of Things, and all the revelations that are happening in the UC space. But just over the next 12 months or so, how do you see your guys' channel strategy evolve?
Well, I'm going to change your question just a little bit because I don't think our strategy is changing. We still want to develop those strong relationships where we are very loyal to our partners. But we are making changes that I think are going to improve the overall, channel process. We're always expanding the partner ecosystem. So, we're always welcoming new partners. So we're going to increase our partner enablement this year. Now, specifically training programs. So we're going to improve upon those because it's really important that people understand what is it that they're potentially selling and how would their customers use that. And then we're going to improve our own sales and technical support resources. So when they come to us and they say, we need your help with this customer, we want to have that available at the drop of a hat. So we're going to increase how we're doing that today. And then we're going to make more accessible product information. Make it easy for partners to grab what they need to grab when they need it and provide it to a potential customer or customer. The third thing is increased incentive programs. So that's primarily structural changes that we're making this year. Hopefully, so our partners can say, yes, this is valuable to me, not just to my customer, but also to me. The fourth item is an increased marketing support. So we're improving our co-marketing opportunities, our marketing materials, increased campaigns. And finally, the last thing is we're going to improve collecting feedback for our product development purposes. Some of the best ideas for improvements or even new products come from the channel. And so we're going to be very careful about listening and making sure that we can put that into development when necessary.
Perfect. Well, it's a very exciting time to be a Unimax partner. I think that's all we've got time for today, but I've really enjoyed today's session. So thank you, Phil.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me on, and have a great day.
You too. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share on social media, and we'll see you next time. I've been Kieran Devlin of UC Today. Thanks for watching.